What's up, y'all? This is Relly. I'm back with another video. Yes, and today I want to ask you guys, who is the X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers? But before we get in that, I need you to smash that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, share it to somebody who ain't subscribed, because with y'all, we can get this channel to the moon. But also, I can't even forget that. And when y'all are done with that, hover over to the like button and smash that too, so we can get the YouTube algorithm to share this video with the world, man. We gotta get this YouTube algorithm to get our content out there. But I genuinely want to talk about the Cavs today. I want to once again ask you the question, who is the X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Because this article Kevin Tate sent me from the Know It All podcast asks the question, who is going to be the X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers for this upcoming season? I thought about it. Then I read the article because they had in place who they believe will be the X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it was no other than Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert was the player they believe was the X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I understood where they was coming from. I actually had to take a back seat, watch some footage, look at some stats, and even take some of my biases, I don't know why unbiased, but my biases from Caris LeVert away to really dissect if this article had anything that was true, right? Now, I know stuff like this is opinionated, and this is the great thing about us talking about Cavs and basketball. But honestly, I do understand where they're coming from, because let's be real here. Caris LeVert, we got him to be the X factor. Even before we got Donovan Mitchell, his purpose was to essentially replace the production Colin Sexton was giving us on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, we look back at it and say, hey, is Caris LeVert on the same level as Colin Sexton? And actually, you would say yes. Yes, Caris LeVert is more seasoned, has more experience. He understands what he has to do as an offensive player. Now, the problem with that is we need Caris LeVert to give us more, right? He has his moments where he is very, very, very inconsistent, right? Anybody that watch games, anybody who has watched a Cavs game or just happened to turn on the TV, watch basketball, and you was watching your favorite team versus the Cavs, you probably seen how Caris LeVert has his moments where he is either a really great player for the Cavs or he is a nuisance for the Cleveland Cavaliers and he is making us drink some Tito's. Let's be honest. But when you look at it, you have to think about it in that question. Is Caris LeVert the X factor? He can be. He might be. Because when you look at who is going to give us production offensively off the bench, it has to be Caris LeVert. Because when DG and Don gets tired, we need Caris LeVert as a guard to facilitate our offense, create shots for himself, and play defense on the other end. He has the most skill set. He is the player we needed to do that even before we got Donovan Mitchell in order to do that. He is the X factor because we know what DG is going to do. We know what Donovan Mitchell is going to do. We know what Evan Mobley is going to do. And let's be real, it's not going to be Jared Allen. It's not going to be Isaac Okoro, because they would have to literally change their game so much to where they would literally have to be brand new players in order to be in the running to be X factors. Yes, they give us things that no other players can do. They do the little small intangibles. They do a lot. Like defensively, they send shots backwards. They make it hard for offensive players to create their shot, and you need that. But that is not what an X factor is. The X factor is who's going to push us to the next level. Who's going to get us from first round exit to the second and third round of the Eastern playoffs, because this is what we're looking forward to. This is what we're trying to aim for, because let's be real, the Cavs is not trying to be a first round exit again, not 2 years in a row. And I know we have to be patient. We have to let our team develop, but let's be honest. And I know I say that a lot, but let's be honest here. Do you think if the Cavs lose again in the first round, you will be satisfied with the growth and the building blocks we've been doing for the past couple seasons? Do you think Donovan Mitchell will want to consider staying on the Cleveland Cavaliers if we get bounced out the Eastern playoff in the first round once again? These are the questions we have to start asking ourselves in order to really translate on how we should be considering our Cleveland Cavaliers, because we do have to hold our Cavs accountable. We've been doing that, right? But when you look at X factors, you look at how we've been building, you look at what we're trying to develop into, you realize that it all goes back to Caris LeVert and how he's going to have to be that guy. Yes, he is probably going to be a six man, but he is probably one of the most impactful, or let me say it again, he's going to be one of the most important six mans in the league, because he is literally going to dictate how far our cast is going to go. And there's nothing wrong about being a six man. Like, you have six man who has literally changed the narrative, like Will, J.R. Smith, etc., right? And to be honest, Caris LeVert is going to have the green light of a J.R. Smith and Lou Williams, because we need him to have that green light. Because when, like I said, when Don and Darius Garland takes a step back, takes a rest, gets hurt, gets sick, whatever, can't hit a shot, he's going to be the guy who gets the green light. And to be honest, even when they're not hurt, he's going to still have that green light. And I don't know why I was about to cough and burp. I don't know what I was going to do. But let's talk about it, right? Because I really want to hear you down in the comments, because I need to know how y'all feel. Because I agree. I agree with the article that Caris LeVert is a player that's going to be an X factor. I do believe his runner-ups, like Max Strus, he can be that. I do believe maybe, honestly, Max Strus. Because like Jared Allen and Isaac Crowell would have to completely change it. Oh, Amani Bates. Amani Bates can actually be an X factor, but it's like, at the same time, how quick do I think he's going to develop, like, this season? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not going to put pressure on Amani Bates. I want him to grow naturally and want him to get his skill set. I want him to develop. But when I look at the team, it's Caris, Max Strus. Caris, Max Strus. Will Caris LeVert gives us crazy production off the bench, or will Max Strus be such a lethal shooter to where he is going to open it up for everybody on the Cleveland Cavaliers? And these are the questions we're going to see when the season starts, and this is one of the questions I want to ask you guys, how y'all feel about this. And tell me down, like I said, down in the comments, let me know who is the X factor for the Cavs and who should it be for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's Atlantis with that money.